I see. And can you have bullets fired from different weapons that can have individual characteristics that look pretty similar?
There is occasions, yes, that tool marks that are made by two separate tools are similar, yes.
Could you go, and this is my last area question, Exhibit 19, page 26?
Your Honor, I'm requesting
Page
20 minutes
26.
for cross-examination. We're coming up on 4:37. That would be my request, Your Honor.
This is my last question. So,
All right, Mr. Burke. Thank you, Mr. McBride. I appreciate the heads up.
in your opinion, does this, the one on the left and the right, show matching individual characteristics?
Counsel, has this been admitted? Because I see it displayed. I just want to make sure, is this?
It has not been admitted, and
Okay.
I'm asking this question and as a foundation for admitting it.
Okay, that's fine. So I just,
Yeah.
it was on another screen. I wanted clarification, so it's not on any screens because it hasn't been admitted, but it clearly can be on her screen.
Thank you.
So only to the witness and counsel table screens.
Page, Exhibit 19, page 26. Does this comparison show individual characteristics indicating that it was fired from the same weapon?
There are individual characteristics present, but without examining it in person, I don't feel comfortable making a conclusion.
Okay, how about the next page? Watch, 27. How about that one?
Again, I see individual characteristics. On a very first glance, I can see maybe one striation that is an agreement, but without seeing it physically in person and having an accurate representation of the entirety, I can't conclude in any answer.
And the last one, the third photo, page 28. Page 28. Exhibit 19, page 28. Same question.
I do see individual characteristics. I do see some areas of agreement without looking at it further. I wouldn't make a conclusion. It's a holistic approach when you're examining items.
Would it surprise you if I told you that all three of those were fired from different weapons?
Again, I don't know any context to these photos other than what you showed, so I don't feel comfortable saying one way or another.
Thank you.
All right. Mr. McBride.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Those last three photos that you were shown, had you seen those before?
I had looked at them probably back in 2024 when it was published.
Okay, that's a study. Is that what that is? Of some sort?
Yes. It was a look from the Association of Firearm and Toolmark Examiners. It was a volunteer of photographs of people that did have an incorrect answer in that proficiency test.
Okay. And when you do an examination or a comparison, are you limited to one photograph?
No,
You actually have the item in front of you, correct?
that is correct, yes.
And you can manipulate it, you can turn it, you can look at every angle and every side of that item as you do the comparison, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And as you're doing that process, you're looking for as many characteristics that match or agree or disagree as you can possibly find, correct?
Yes, it's a holistic approach. If I have a bullet like this case, I'm looking at every single land, every single groove impression, and doing an evaluation of each one of those, looking for areas of agreement and disagreement before rendering a conclusion.
Would it be responsible for you to reach a conclusion based on a single photograph of a very limited area of two bullets?
I would not feel comfortable doing that now.
Okay, I want to back up. How long have you, first of all, where do you work?
I work at the Forensic Science Laboratory in Washington for the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives.
How long have you been there?
A little over 6.5 years.
Where did you come from? Where did you work before that?
Prior to working for ATF, I was a latent fingerprint technician, recovering latent fingerprints from improvised explosive devices, and I also worked as a crime scene investigator in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and Anne Arundel County, Maryland.
How long did you have that position?
I think cumulatively it was about 5 to 6 years.
And before that?
Those are the only ones. I think it was about 6 months as a latent fingerprint technician, 2 years as a crime scene in Winston-Salem, and 3 in Anne Arundel County.
Do you have education and training before that position?
Yes, I have a Bachelor of Science in Forensic and Investigative Science from West Virginia University and have attended and graduated the National Firearms Examiner Academy, as well as done specific training at my laboratory.
At each of the positions you've held, have you had on-the-job training at the laboratories where you've worked?
I have, yes.
And will you describe what that training is like at the ATF where you are now?
Yes, so part of becoming a firearm and toolmark examiner for ATF was attending the NFEA, the National Firearms Examiner Academy, which is a year-long intensive comprehensive training program. I learned about historical cases, figures, and the evolution of firearms, fired ammunition components, and manufacturing. In phase 2, I worked 16 weeks of hands-on experience assembling and disassembling firearms using a comparison microscope comparing fired ammunition components and tool marks, going on manufacturing tours, and participating in moot court. I worked on an independent research project and 4 practical exercises, and then presented that independent research project to a panel of experts and participated in 2 moot court sessions on 2 of those 4 practical exercises. Then specifically for ATF, I still work on my training, going through practical exercises and competency tests, working under trained firearms examiners at my laboratory, and also continue learning about any manufacturing evolutions or going on manufacturing tours. And I also participate in moot court for every single competency test that I work. Once all of that is complete, then I work on supervised case before moving on to unsupervised casework.
And supervised casework means what?
It means that the author of the final report will be a different examiner, but I am working on all of the work side by side and going through all the steps that are needed for that examination.
And in that process, you're having discussions and discussions about your work with a more experienced examiner.
Yes, it's an opportunity to work a case that has come into the laboratory, but still have someone there making sure I feel comfortable with everything and following every step necessary.
How long ago was that you had that, that you graduated from that supervised work?
I believe that was in 2022 or 2023. I'm not sure.
Do you supervise now others?
I do not have a supervisor capacity, but I have had the opportunity to now teach at the NFEA. I've been fortunate enough to participate as an instructor in the test firing module, the mini moot court module, and the comparison of bullets and cartridge cases.
Are you required to undergo continuing